Forever.
Yeah.
And when you say he was a rapper, like you said, you guys had maybe get something together. Like, what was that? Like, how was that? Like, how was it actually doing the song or a portrait with your son? Because that's kind of crazy. I like that. You know, you don't get a lot of like, you know, mothers, sons, teams doing the rapping and poetry. So that's creative. Yeah.
So one day he came to me and he was like, Mom, I want you to get on this thing with me, this rap with me. And then I said, okay, let me hear you first. So he told me what he had. I wrote what I wrote. Next thing you know, I'm in the studio. And then the video came out. And so, ironically, the video is called Animal, right? By Adonis, North, Adonis, NWJ. And this is where the shirts came into play. So back then he had the shirts, I'm not an animal. On the back, I'll show y'all later, is a verse that says, they only want to judge you, they ain't being understandable. Being born in Newark, New Jersey don't make you an animal. And then he gets shots down like one, right? And so when I go into the schools, we show the video. And so we come on and you hear the mayor voice. And he's talking about, this is not normal, this is not normal. One of his things he did at Central. And then we go into the poetry. It's really, really good. Because it talks about the ills, it talks about school. I'm rapping and he's doing his stuff, I'm doing my poetry. And so that's how this came into play. Because when I go into the schools, I say to them, you know, when you see the articles that somebody got killed, in the comments they say the animals let them kill each other anyway. So I want our young black brothers and sisters or whoever to know that we're not animals. And we don't have to shoot each other down and kill each other. Back in the day we used to fight. And so I want them to know that. And I like Black Lives Matter, I need them to know I am not an animal. And so that's where this shirt come into play.
And that's well put. That's well put. Wow, like you definitely like have a powerful story. Just thinking like now with your brother, like you know he was pretty much like from what I hear like a legend in the town. Like he was well known, but like he wasn't like necessarily like a super tough guy. He was like, but from what I know, from what I hear, he was a happy guy. Like he was cool. You know what I'm saying? So I can't like what was like? Do you know like the reason why he was killed? Because none of this makes sense. But at the end of the day, do you try to put like a reason to it to create some sensibility? Like,
so if I tell you, I probably got to kill you. So no money for that money.
Jesus.
He's like, oh, so this is the funny part. My brother was my best friend. We was like a year apart. That was my best friend. I raised him like a son, right? And so when he passed away, and we probably need to talk about this. When he passed away, I wasn't speaking to him, right? When I tell y'all that was my best friend. But again, we wasn't speaking because, you know, he was married and I would get in this business because I was cool with his wife and say, you didn't do this right or you're not doing this right, you should do this as a man. And we had this big argument. And so when she moved to Virginia, she had this pajama party and I was leaving to go to Virginia. And he went to speak to me and I'm like, boy, get out of here, I ain't speaking to you. Right? And he was really trying to make up with me. And that night we got the call that he got shot. So the girl called the house. I answered. She was like, you know, Boz. I said she's asleep. She hung up, called back. I got a little bit of bad news. I'm like, okay. She was like, about your brother. Well, didn't tell me. So she said he got shot. I called my sister and I'm like, Terry, Walter shot? She was like, he dead. So because I wasn't speaking to him and everybody thought it was like, oh, it was my guilt. It was he probably would have told me what was going on because they say he was walking around and you could tell he was thinking and I'm like, that's something I knew that he loved me and that was my best friend, but I didn't get to say that or, you know what I'm saying? No, and so that was something that I held on forever. I had the shrine, I did all of that, but he was funny to me. Right? When after he passed, I heard, oh, he was tough, he ain't play, he was, you know, but I didn't see that side of him. We would have funerals for the refrigerator and the stove, so I didn't get to see that, but, you know, I heard that he was trying to defend somebody, he was sticking up for somebody said, well, let me see how tough he is when he bullets hit him.
It was like that, like we like when you're in the street, like you go out and, you know, in one way, but you come home, it's always, you know, respectful. You know, your mother is ma'am, yes, no ma'am, yes ma'am. Like, so like sometimes the family don't really get to see. But, you know, like I said, like I wish we had some clips to show, but because he really is, like I should have asked you to bring the clips.
Yeah, because he was funny.
Yeah, he was a good guy, he was a good guy. Wow, so now like, this is heavy. This is heavy. I really,
lost for words.
Yeah, I need to smoke.
Yeah, I mean, if you smoke, you might need to smoke, but
yeah, like this I would just got to say, like, this is one of the reasons why people smoke. Like, 'cause, like, when you get something heavy like this is something that sometimes you need to be calm, like, you need to be calmed down from it, like, because my insides right now was going crazy, just like the shootings, the amount of times they've been shot, the number of people. Like you said, the woman lost three sons, like, what, like, how? Yeah.
So, but then if you have faith, I mean, and not saying that you don't, but even with me, right? And I'm not saying that I am a Christian. I wasn't into church like that. I don't know the scriptures. I don't know none of that. But I know through my son's death, God carried me. Yeah. When I went to make the arrangements and I was telling him what I want and I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do that. He was like a production, So we had this like big production, right? I had people come up. I honored them with roses for being his friend, right? I did the little skits and so on. Yeah, and so I sent him out like the king that he was, right? We did the horse and carriage, and God carried me. In the scriptures or something, it says, you know, they asked God, where were you when I needed you? And I didn't see your footprints, and he was like, I carried you. He carried me.
That's one of my favorites.
So I think the funeral was Friday. I went back to work Monday, and my boss was like, what are you doing here? Yeah, right? So I knew as a mother, a single mother with 2 other kids, I still had to go on. Life still got to go on. Yeah, so, I mean, so for the ones like you or my sister and them, the weed calmed them down, right? That probably knocked that little edge off. But I mean, you know.
You're a hell of a person. Like, I'm just saying, like, even the way you handle the situation, like, because I said, like, most of us break down, we fall apart. Like, you were pretty upbeat, like, you're jolly, like, you're taking care of your business, like, you're handling all the situations. And when people probably looking at you, and they probably looking at you, they was probably falling apart. Yeah. Wondering why you wasn't, you just was, boom, no, we gotta get this done.
So wait, so let me say, so when he got my son, Eric got shot, when I say it rained so hard, when I say, because I was on the highway and I had to pull over, I was coming from PA, and Miss Roundtree from the city of Newark, she deals with when people get shot, she'd be at the scene, and she kept calling me, and she was like, Lee, you gotta get here. So the second time she did it, I pulled over, and it was raining so hard, I couldn't get here, and it seemed like it was taking forever, and I'm like, Roundtree, he died? And she was like, Lee, you just got to get here. And I'm like, he died? But I felt it. And so when I walked in the emergency room, because, you know, at university, it's that interest, and everybody was looking at me. His father came to me, he was like, they killed our son. And I was like, come on. Right? We walked in, everybody looking at me like, what's she doing? She gonna cry? I told them I need to see my son. They were saying the father couldn't come back with us because only a certain amount of people know. We all going. I went there, right? And I'm just real. I seen him on the stretcher. And he was so peaceful, but he had blood on it. And I thought to myself, like, they couldn't clean him up. Right? I whispered in his ear, I got you. Mommy got you. I got your daughter. And, you know, the time to leave in the hallway, Roundtree was like, let's pray. And then my son, girlfriend screamed out, no. And I said, the devil is a liar. Right? And then let's go. But they was looking at me like, what is she doing? Why is she not? But it was his time, and I knew God had him.
You're one of his chosen ones. Like, for you to carry yourself like that and conduct yourself, and even at the like I said, at the event where I saw you, like, you still composed when the other females was falling apart and, you know, crying about husbands and sons. You just was like consoling them and telling them it's gonna be all right, and, you know, telling they still here with us, and that's the most like that's the most important part, because like that doesn't mean gone. Like, we can always honor our fallen. We can always cherish them, remember them, you know what I'm saying, throw parties for them. I'm gonna just say this, like, cause I was thinking, like, on social media I saw a thing where it was like, there was a guy had passed away, and they was trying to honor him, but they had him like standing on the stage.
Did you see that? Yeah. They probably had that weed that y'all had on Smoke and Joke.
No, they should have probably came on Smoke and Joke and smoked with me and probably thought it was do it a different way, because I was tired, but it was but you know, to each his own, and like it was memorable. Like, it was a club scene. They partied and celebrated, and that's, God bless them. So, is there anything that you want to tell the people, like any place that you're going to be? I know you said you have a Zoom call where you talk to people. Where you
so I do Healing Through Trauma, and we do it 2 times a month, the 2nd and the 4th Sunday. So it's actually this Sunday on the 12th. Okay. And we start at 5, and it's like a village. We just come, because during the pandemic, trauma could be people dying with their loved ones going, right? They had COVID and they was in a room by themselves, right? And so after you didn't even get back when it first happened, they wasn't even having funerals, right? Trauma can also be domestic violence. Trauma can be losing a job. So we just get up there and we share, right? As a village. Because I want to go back to where we were when we were a village. Right now we're a community, right? I want to go where next door neighbor, if you was hungry, we fed you, right? So that's where I need to go. And I need people to love on our children, right? They just need a hug. And we want to say we can start as first grade. I mean, I see you want to talk, but I know this your show, but I'm talking right now, so you got to focus. And so, even if we start off as little as the first grade, we have to love on our children.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's what I'm aiming for.
And that's what I'm thinking. Like right now, like politicians are trying to make it seem like marijuana was gassing these people up to do these mass shootings and things of that nature. But like, it's really, like you said, it's really a lack of love. Yeah. It's really a lack of love. Think about it: a grandson shooting his grandmother in the face. Like it's no love there. Like I could never imagine my grandmother, Miss Lila. Like what? Like come on. My grandmother whooped me when I was 22. I said, Grandma, you can't even hit me no more. She was like, no, like you're still a baby.
Yeah, you better believe it. And then even with the weed, if they say that the weed, I can't really see, because once you get down to it, they say, oh, the person was bullied, or they had mental issues. Yeah. They never once said, oh, he was weedy, or he was watching the Smoke and Joke show, or they never say none of that.
They better not say he's watching the Smoke and Joke show. Because if he was watching the Smoke and Joke show, they'd know. Euphoric, calming, relaxing, focused.
What does that? The weed?
The marijuana.
See, yeah, because I never smoked.
Now,
so.
let me say that. No, don't. If you don't, it's all right.
Yeah.
You got a good job. Like, the job sometimes will keep you away from it.
Yeah. I get high for life, though.
Oh, well, you should try that.
A natural high.
You should try that.
No.
I'm sorry.
I know he's joking now. This is the Smoke and Joke part.
Sorry. But, like, all right, so let me just get back to that on topic for a second. Okay, on May 14th, I'm just reading an article on one of the situations. On May 14th, a racist attack at a Buffalo, New York supermarket snatched the lives of 10 people and left 3 more injured. It was the deadliest mass shooting of the year in the United States for just over a week. Okay, like, let me just say, marijuana didn't do that. Like, and I saw a clip of that guy. Like, he actually got out and was going through the supermarket shooting people. And when he came to a white guy, he lifted his gun, said, I'm sorry, and kept on. So he was very aware of what he was doing. And he was very concise, because the guy said, oh my God, help me. He said, oh, I'm sorry, and kept moving. So he knew he was coming out. So that's lack of love. He knew he was coming out to kill people. And then
but they were saying the black people.
So what is it about us that have people like thinking that like they know that there's gotta be something about us that keep everybody want to get rid of us. They know we special. They know we supposed to be doing something, and that's what we gotta do. Like we gotta start getting up and doing what we supposed to do. Like we here for a reason. Find your reason. Be here to do what you gotta do. Like that's.
And even on that, I got on the show. Imagine is some kind of organization, and they asked me to get on the show with them last week or 2 weeks ago. But they talked about the what's the guy from the city hall? Oh my God, George Floyd. So it was his anniversary or something. And so when we got on there, I'm listening, and I'm on the Zoom, and they talking about how it happened, and a black woman is talking about the race, and how we as black people, we can't grieve, and I'm listening, and I'm saying, I started feeling some type of way at first, because I'm saying they was making it about race. Okay, the cops could have been racist, right? And so, but I then they showed a black woman in a